What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So Democrats told the American people, if you want to be thought of first, vote Democrat. However, that's not what's happening right now, and people are not being thought of first. In the comment section all the time, I get the same response. Why? Why do politicians not look at the American people first? Why is it always businesses? Why is it always, immigration and people outside of the country? We're sending billions and billions of dollars to other countries, but yet here on US soil, Americans are going homeless. They're not being able to eat. They're being evicted from their homes. They do not have money to just survive and pay for the medications that we are being forced to pay more for. Well, I just want you to understand something. Democrats told us that if we want to be thought of first, vote Democrat. However, and I'm not saying that Republicans would have came out and they would have did things any differently. We don't know that. And honestly, we never will. Because this is going to be a once in a lifetime scenario. We will not see this again in our lifetime. Or at least I hope not. But here's what we know. Democrats, they have the presidency. They hold the majority in the House and the Senate. And they are supposed to be putting together a budget reconciliation bill, which only needs all 50 Democrats on board. And then the tie-breaking vote in the Senate would be the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Well, yeah, that would be great if they could agree on something, but at this time they are not. There's a lot of issues. Right now, many Democrats worry that the infrastructure bill or bills won't pass because they cannot get on board with one another. They cannot agree on what should be passing and what shouldn't. They are just posturing and trying to fight over the exact amount, what is going to be included, and what shouldn't be included at this time. Well, let me give you an idea of what is currently being said right now. House moderates, just yesterday, they said that if Nancy Pelosi wants their vote on the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, this is that budget reconciliation bill, then she must adhere to 3 principles. Just 3. That's it. The first one, that lawmakers need to have at least 72 hours by the time the bill is finalized and when they're asked to vote on this bill. That is the first principle. The second one, everything other than climate change must be offset in spending. The reason why climate change isn't included here is simply because this is one of those things that it could turn into a very expensive provision. So they want to leave this open because there's really no way that the Congressional Budget Office is going to come out here and score this. There's no way they're going to do it because it would be almost impossible. That's the second principle. And the third one, which is probably the most important one, they say the text of the bill must be worked out ahead of time with the Senate and the House. They say moderates who are politically vulnerable right now, they don't want to be asked to vote on a controversial provision that won't make it into the bill anyway, which makes sense. But those are the 3 principles that moderates say if Nancy Pelosi wants House moderates to vote on this bill, she has to adhere to those 3 things. But we will see. Now, one thing I just want you to understand is that one of the things that I've been saying for, probably the past year or so, is that it makes absolutely no sense how you can ask a lawmaker to read a 2,000, even a 1,000 page bill in the matter of an hour or so, and then come back to the floor and vote on it. It makes no sense because every single time the same thing happens. A week or 2 goes by, and then the media is starting to read the bill, lawmakers are reading the bill, and then they realize, oh, this lawmaker got that piece of legislation included. That's probably why they had their support. Or, oh, this lawmaker got this included. Well, why didn't I get my provision included? And so that turns into just more fighting. Well, that's what we're seeing right now anyway, is that lawmakers are trying to posture, trying to get into a position where they can demand more from this bill. Senator Joe Manchin, he doesn't want to see more out of this bill, at least according to reports. He just wants to see a smaller bill. However, if he gets a smaller bill, is he going to demand that something else be included? Something else for him? We don't know. We honestly don't know. One senator said this morning that working on a bill that must pass through the House and Senate is going to be very difficult. They say some senators have already said that they will not vote on this bill if it's too expensive. Others say, I will only vote on this bill if it's around $2 trillion. Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are two of those people. And Bernie Sanders and multiple progressives have said that they will not support this bill if it's anything less than $3 trillion. But that $3.5 trillion is their starting point. Most progressives want to see it go up a little bit higher than that. But again, we will see. What I can tell you though, is when it comes to getting any additional stimulus, whether it's a stimulus check, an extension of the child tax credit payments, an adult tax credit, anything for savings, there's different provisions out there, different proposals where lawmakers want to see the American people save more, invest for the future, possibly get a kind of like a savings voucher for kids. They want to do this because they say this is one way to provide for our future children. Provide to put people in houses. Right now there's a housing shortage. There is a major housing shortage. If you are trying to buy a house, let me know if you're trying to buy a house down in the comment section below, because I can tell you right now it's difficult. It is very difficult no matter what your budget is, unless you're willing to almost overpay for a certain property. But again, there are some deals out there. You just have to have the money in order to fix them. So if you're looking, good luck. One thing I want to address right now is the unemployment issue. Now, I'm not going to address how tomorrow is going to be the final day of the $300 per week unemployment boost. I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to say that tomorrow is the last day that the pandemic unemployment assistance is going to be valid. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that the additional stimulus or additional unemployment benefits for gig workers, self-employed, freelancers, that ends tomorrow as well. I'm not going to tell you all that, all right, which I just did. But here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. And again, it all comes down to numbers. It all comes down to numbers. Here's what you probably didn't know. There are currently 8.4 million people currently unemployed. About 7.5 million people are going to lose 100% of their benefits tomorrow. The White House, they have said multiple times they don't understand why we're seeing a slow in hiring. More people should be hired right now because there's more people available to work, or there's more jobs open than people available to work. So why is there a single person on unemployment? Well, here's some new numbers we didn't know. And according to the Washington Post, here's what we know now. People are resigning from their positions, and this is actually up 13% from last year before the pandemic. There's currently 4.9 million people that before the pandemic, they weren't looking for work, and they still are not looking for work. This is 4.9 million more people, okay? 3.6 million people retired during the pandemic. However, about 1.5 million people were expected to. So that's an additional 2 million people that are now retired that were supposed to be going back to work. That's turning into an issue. And they say millions of workers are scared and want to go to work. However, they're scared because of the Delta COVID variant. And now we have to deal with the Mu variant as well. Many people are not going to go back to work unless they can work remotely. Okay. And let me know if you're one of these people as well. Either are you working remotely currently, or are you looking to work remotely in the future? Now, currently there is almost 3.5 million available jobs in the hospitality industry. Just in the hospitality industry. This is one of the ones that is getting hit the hardest. But out of those 3.5 million jobs available, there's only 1.5 million unemployed people that used to work in the hospitality industry. Their previous job was in this industry. So, experts say that you can't make somebody do something or turn into a different worker than they were already. You can't. They are who they are. So, if you got somebody that used to be, let's say, a pilot, do you think they're going to go work in the hospitality industry? Probably not. If you got somebody that used to be, let's say, a business owner, do you think they're going to go and work in the hospitality industry to start? Probably not. They could, but probably not. So this is what we're seeing. Right now, experts are saying that all of these figures shed some light onto what is actually happening. They say, yes, wages are going up slightly, but so are COVID cases. And this is dealing a major blow. They say until the COVID cases get under control, millions of people won't have schools to look forward to. They won't be able to, and again, if you're not a parent, you may not understand this, and if you are a parent, again, this may be something different as well. But a lot of parents, they look at school as pretty much a daycare center for their child between the ages of 6 and 18 years old. That they don't have to worry about their child because they're being watched by teachers, educators, and staff. Well, what we are seeing is that millions of people, if COVID cases keep increasing, schools will not be able to watch their children because they will actually be doing remote learning. And many daycare centers and services will be closing down if these COVID cases increase. We're already seeing it in some cases. So, if you rely on either one of these things, experts say you might have to stay home and you may not be able to work moving forward. And that's going to create another big blow to the economy as well. What we are hearing from experts, they are saying that the vaccine mandates for healthcare workers, this is actually affecting a lot of people. They are expecting tens, if not hundreds of thousands of workers to simply quit their jobs over vaccine mandates. And then we're seeing that some are having mask mandates for the vaccinated people. And people that are vaccinated say, no, we were promised if we get vaccinated, we do not have to wear a mask. However, many businesses, airlines, and hospitals are saying that, no, you have to wear a mask. And on top of that, they're saying you cannot wear a cloth mask. You have to wear an N95 mask. But the CDC says we need to leave the N95 mask to healthcare workers in order to prevent another shortage. So we're getting different information no matter where you look. Some people say one thing, others say something else. But here's what I know, and here's what I can tell you moving forward. We're going to start getting some answers. We're going to get answers regarding the next infrastructure bill and stimulus package. We're going to get answers regarding the vaccines, mask mandates, vaccine mandates, and everything in between. And as we do, I promise I will fill you in on all those updates. But what I know right now is that right now, the CDC, World Health Organization, health experts, the Biden administration, the White House, all these experts and officials are telling us just various things. But as I know what they are telling us, as I can tell you exactly what they want or what we should be doing moving forward, I will tell you that. I will bring you those updates, all right? So again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing so that I can keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.